we have evidence that the Wuhan lab destroyed data. Does that concern you at all?
Yes, any lab that destroys data concerns.
Okay, knowing what you know now, do you regret working with the Wuhan lab? Do you think working with labs that destroy data is sound?
I have no choice. We work in countries where diseases emerge, whether they're our allies or our competitors, because our goal is to stop those diseases from
So
emerging.
one of the troubling things for us when we go home, because we're representing the taxpayers, who
Yeah.
no doubt are, most of them are not virologists or scientists, but they're going, we're paying money to fund research in a country that's in unrestricted warfare against us, that destroys evidence, and then you still are like, well, maybe we should continue working with them. And
I recognize those concerns, absolutely. But if we want to prevent the next pandemic coming out of China, how do we know when it's going to happen? We need scientists on the ground to get that information so we're better prepared.
Do you maintain that the lab leak theory is a plausible theory today?
As I've said all the way through this, it's possible, but extremely unlikely.
And having done it over, you would continue to work with the Wuhan lab?
There are a lab in China that does virology research.
This weighs into,
That's
like,
good.
your
right now they're
organization
debarred
is
from
still
funding.
receiving taxpayer funds,
Yeah.
and you're still making decisions on which labs across the world that
We
you
don't
go
work
into.
in China. We don't work with the Wuhan lab.
Okay,
They're debarred
right,
from funding.
right. But the taxpayer right now is trusting you in some essence through the various recommended channels to make decisions on who we're working with. And if you're picking labs and you don't think it's an issue that a lab destroyed data and that's not a disqualifying factor, that's a concern.